episode 17. Appreciate y'all for tapping in and letting us share with y'all our perspective as organizers in the battle rap community. Appreciate that for real, man.
Battle rap is for smart people.
Nah, it's a fact. So Kanye West is the lawyers can't get him on the phone right now. So I don't know if it's his lawyers or but he got to be careful because they all on him right now.
Why?
Right?
Why they trying
Lawsuit
to?
wise,
Why?
right?
Why they trying to get at him?
His lawyers
Yeah.
probably to help him defend. I don't know if it's his lawyers. Just says the lawyers are not able to get Kanye West on his phone and change the number. So so I don't know if if he's trying to get away from if he's just not wanting to talk to his own lawyers or if it's lawyers from the opposing side. But I doubt it'll be lawyers from the opposing side because they reached it. Okay, his lawyers.
Right. So the question is, why are they trying to sue? How many lawsuits he's up against right now?
He's up against some. I don't know. I know he got the family of George Floyd. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know who else though. I don't know who else, but I heard a few. It's a few. Matter of fact, one of the producers was like, "I don't even know how you about to get paid." What's that new guy name from out of? God, man. He do a lot of stuff for Future though. He was on Vlad. He got his own music coming out right
John
now.
Boy?
He's popping. Nah, that's a new guy, man. Young boy, bro. Guy can't be more than like maybe 20, 23, 24.
Wow.
Yeah, young guy, man. He did beats for Eminem and everything. It was a pretty good interview. I seen it on Vlad. But either which way, he did some stuff for Kanye West and he having some issues with it. Yo, I don't know if you remember this, but Alec Baldwin, the Baldwins, right? The actors. One of them is getting charged with involuntary manslaughter for, I guess during the filming of a movie. I think he shot somebody by mistake. Yeah, he shot somebody by mistake.
And he killed somebody?
Yeah, I guess the guy there. Yeah. It's armor responsible for weapons on the set, also faces manslaughter charges. Damn, but it still ain't nothing. The dude is dead. But see,
What is that?
That's lemon lime. Let's do it. I like the lime better than the other stuff.
No bottle? No big bottle of wine? All right, thank you.
Appreciate you, my man.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, man. It is what it is, man. So New York gun retailers bid to block new concealed carry laws. So they're trying to come with some new concealed guns about to be crazy in New York.
I mean,
I'm
they
scared
should have never reversed it. The way it was fine.
What? No guns in New York,
I
right?
mean, come on. It was a culture not to have a gun. You get caught with a gun.
Right. Cats had guns, but it
It was
definitely
fine. That's what I'm saying. It was already
it
accepted.
wasn't easily accessible.
It was accepted. Like, yo, I can't get caught with a gun. If I get caught with a gun, it's 3 to 5.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then now, like, it's about
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now? Just anybody can have it, right? But I guess is it a certain way you got to carry it though? Isn't it a certain way you got to carry the gun though?
Whether it's a certain way to carry a gun, anybody can have a gun.
Right.
And if anybody can have a gun,
Right.
the gun culture is in New York. It's on site. The violence is on site.
Yeah, it's kinda
so if I have a
crazy.
gun, it's on site.
Crazy.
What so is that? Laser tag?
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy.
it's on site.
Crazy. Man, I feel for this generation. It's definitely not going to be nothing light for them, man. Let us know, man. What's the process and procedure of carrying a weapon legally in New York City right now? I'm definitely wanting to find that out. Yo, 21 Savage, wilding out.
Yeah, come on.
Wilding
Like,
out on
21
Clubhouse, man.
21 Savage, come on, chill,
Yeah,
bro.
man, they about that guy right there, man. They definitely about to come on, man. First of all, you're gonna have extra beef. Cats gonna want to test you,
Come on, bro.
And
Like,
then,
you talking about Chicago? Come on,
And
bro.
then-
Like, come on, Brody.
if anything happened, they on you now.
Bro,
They on you now.
Like, they got you recorded talking reckless.
Right.
Man. Like, talking awfully reckless.
Right.
21. And the thing about it is, Jay-Z helped you. He helped you with your bond and everything else. So how do you go back and get tough on the phone and then, to these Chicago cats,
I know how you-
they got something to prove.
The same way that Charleston White went on DJ U show in Chicago and was like, yo, that was a fake gun. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that was a fake gun. Come on, man. It was getting boring. You wasn't, you know, he said that, right?
Nah, I know that.
Yeah, he said it was getting boring.
So it was a fake gun?
Yeah, he said it was a fake. I ain't tell you that. You didn't know that?
It's talented.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yo, even academics was like talking about it, but nah.
Yo, got knocked out.
21 Savage, you gotta do the same thing, man. Listen, man, I was all acting, man. Come back on Clubhouse.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like put that on record. Make sure it's on record. Because see, in Georgia, they can still use your lyrics against you in the state of Georgia.
My man's terrorist threats, bro. The moment you talking like that,
right,
and you're making claims and you're saying certain things.
More than that is not even because remember the state or the federal government pick up the case.
Right.
I don't know how the feds do that, right? You know, I don't know, but I know the state can come pick up the case.
The state can pick up the case.
I don't know if it's the same thing with the federal government. But the point is, you don't want them coming back and playing your what's that called? You know, you talking about this, and that.
He spoke
At least
about
you could double back.
He spoke about certain things. They be going to it and they be spanking him.
Yeah,
he said specific.
Yeah, he definitely said that. But now he could keep talking about you know, I guess something happened already with some people got hurt from Chicago or something. Either way, I don't know. But he need to go back and put on the record. Yo, just so y'all know, man. You know we're gonna be doing this on every now and then on the Clubhouse. We had to get it popping. It was nothing but entertainment.
Somebody tell him
it was nothing.
You better hope they don't connect that. What's that boy name? King Von to anything.
Right.
I mean, you better not be connected to any of that because they're gonna smoke you, bro. And you know you don't want to go back to London.
21. Oh, you mean jail wise? Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying on King Von.
Right.
When King Von got killed over there in Georgia.
I think he was cool, but I don't know.
I'm just saying, whatever that Georgia,
that.
Atlanta, and Chicago thing talking, that right there, I know King Von's gonna be wrapped up into that. You know what I mean? You don't want that type of smoke, bro.
Oh, you mean okay? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean from the government or from the people on the streets?
From the people on the streets.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Number one, because it's like you're daring them.
Right.
Number two,
right.
You know what I'm saying? If they decide they want to tie you, implicate you, that you had something to do with that, that's the reason why they try to deport you anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they could show that as grounds of why you shouldn't be here.
Right.
Like, you know you don't want to go back to London because you was fighting it.
Yeah. But if you go back to London, I'm gonna tell you, it might be more favorable for his career right now. Why? London is popping right now.
And then leave. Then don't.
He you know how people don't necessarily know that they might need to make that move. You know,
reinvent himself?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, right now, London is popping. Y'all know that. The rappers ain't never been, like prior to this time, the last time that you was hearing rappers from London was doing Dipset. Dipset was, for me,
right.
They was introducing, you know, rappers from London or England or whatever,
right.
into hip hop. You know? And that was the first time I was starting to get familiar with it on a pretty, you know. Now, come on, it's popping right now. It's popping right now between them and South Africa because Nigeria they doing Afrobeat, but South Africa and London they rapping and they got a similar sound.
Okay,
yeah, I didn't know that. I think so because it's a dude named Dave. I think his name is just Dave. Mm-hmm. I love this dude. He got a couple joints with Buju the dude. He be on the hooks. Oh, French Montana just did the song with the dude. Dang man, what's that? So French Montana jumped on a remix with that joint.
That's smart.
Yeah, and then what's it called? The guy that initially sung the hook or whatever, that was singing part of the hook.
Right.
Dave got songs with him, but Dave, and if I'm correct, he's from South Africa. Sounds just like he's from London. You follow what I'm talking about?
That's crazy.
So right now the London sound is popping, man. So like, you know, and just that whole wave of music, international music is popping right now.
Right.
So it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if 21 Savage got deported and was able to tap into that.
Well, I think you just leave, man. You ain't got to get deported, bro. I mean, if anybody watch this right here,
that's a fact. I'm not saying that.
Put him on, man. Like, you know, let him know, go take a trip, man.
Yeah. But I mean, he been doing good though. Did you see the interview with him on?
But it started with WAP 100, man.
Okay.
Like, went from whack 100 to now.
Well, with the beefing, you mean?
Yeah,
No,
going back and
but
forth.
check it though. He was on a show. Damn, what show he was on, man? He was on a good show. 21 Savage, and you know what he said? Because you remember when No Plug killed Bankhead, what's that dude name?
Bankroll Fresh.
Stack of money on Vlad.
Right.
And was like, yo, that's my man, da da da, No Plug, that's my man, whatever. He doubled back on that and apologized for that. He was like, yo, I was young. I didn't know. I should have kept my mouth shut on that. You follow what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I told the guys that was involved, I told them my bad, I apologize, but at the end of the day, they don't gotta accept my apology because I was wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and I understand how this thing goes. But it was like, bro, it was reasoning. It was sound right reasoning.
His stock
Right.
or his upbringing is of sound right reasoning, right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding. That's his fabric. His mom, I don't know about his pops, but his step pops, I mean, he knows what it is.
Y'all probably seen him on what's it called, Breakfast Club. Yes, selling his what's that called, like natural herbs and stuff. Right. He got a whole lot of different bills.
When he came up, he knows right from wrong,
right,
and he knows how to reason, and he knows about the spell being casted and everything else. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for them taking the land, he wouldn't have been a 21 Savage, because he would have had a place to go and to continue to upgrade. And the fact that they were able to reintegrate the tribe into regular society, he had. That's why he was able to become a 21 Savage.
Right.
Because before that, he was on the land. He was coming. He had a place to come to. He had a place to build his mental.
Right. The point is, you know what I'm saying? He actually got a good mind. You know what I mean? And I've heard him on Clubhouse a few times. Like when Academics and Meek Mill was beefing. He was in the middle of that. Right. And he was trying to bring reason to it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, my point is that he got a good mind, but he's young. You know what I mean? And he's from the streets. You know what I'm saying? And he's had to do a lot of stuff that, unfortunately, like you said, he shouldn't have had to, but he did. So now he got a mindset. It don't take much for him to get triggered to go back to that mindset. But yeah, man, I mean, it is what it is, man. Shouts out to him. I hope that he's able to kind of backtrack on that. Like, yo, I was joking. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the best bet for that guy right there.
People ain't playing right now, bro.
No, definitely not.
They never have been, but right now, they between, I don't know, they never have been, but right now, that whole 21 Savage thing, how they doing him, utilizing his lyrics and everything else to create a lyric.
Young Thug,
yeah, right. My fault. Mm-hmm. But the fact that the way they utilizing him, and they setting a precedence with that guy right there, because Young Thug, they don't necessarily have anything concrete, but they're making sure that they utilize everything around his lifestyle to paint a picture that this dude don't need to be in the streets. Mm-hmm. Once they start doing that with one, they want to do that with all. And then you see how all his people is folding on him. So if you have a crew, your crew gonna know, like, look, I need to fold. I gotta have a choice to go home and fold. And I'm gonna pick up this Bible or Quran while I'm up in here, and that becomes my new lifestyle. And that's how I'm gonna justify folding. Telling on everything moving.
It's crazy, man. And cats had opportunity too. To leave it alone if they wanted to, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's some mindset. Once you lock in, it's kind of hard to see the other opportunities available. Like, I was watching Young Dro's interview on Vlad, and I was feeling of one. He was at first, I guess seeing Biggie, he named a few rappers, Tupac,
okay,
and he saw that they were dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, when I seen them popping, I was like, oh, I could do this too. You know what I'm saying? He was like, right. Like, as I guess a youngster, he felt the way being dark skinned or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That time ever, bro, my man. Right. For me, one time this dude said, "Hey, yo, pick up them two Dixie plates and put it on your chest." Domino. Everybody started to laugh. I laughed too. Damn, my feelings was hurt. I said, pick up them two, and then when he did it, you know, beats playing, cats are smoking. You know what I mean?
I definitely know what you mean.
Put on your chest.
Definitely know what
And
you
he
mean.
said Domino. I think the artist Domino might have been out by at that time because he had what's his name? He had Domino, and he had the other guy that passed away from LBC. What's his name? Snoop's man.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg. So it was Domino and Nate Dogg, but I think that's the time when Domino had a joint that was
Right.
popping.
Right.
When he said Domino, man, that thing, the surges that it went through, and I think it was like kind of nighttime. All I could do was laugh too, but damn, like dark skinned cats, man, listen here, man. Woo.
Yeah, it's all good. Once you come to Africa, bro, you might be light skinned.
You might be light skinned.
You might be light skinned for real. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yo, so that's the good thing.
fun.
That's the good thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just had a moment just now.
Yeah, nah, I know what you mean, man. You know, it is what it is, man. I grew up around a lot of Puerto Ricans, you know, so it was definitely interesting to say the least, you know. And not everybody, you know, felt the way about black people, but a lot did, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, you know, their parents wouldn't want to see their daughters with no, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? No black person.
I mean, come on,
we could do music together. We could b-boy and we could rap together, but I couldn't come to your house. You know what I mean? Just like what's your man said that? The former Attorney General that was under Obama. What's that brother name? I forgot his name, man, but he's also from out of New York City. Eric Holder. Eric Holder was like, yo, you know, we could talk with when he's talking about the you know, white Americans and whatever. He was like, yo, we're not allowed in their house. We don't come over for dinner. Like, yo, he was breaking it down, man. And that's, you know, that's racist America, though.
I mean, that's
racist. Yo, China Mac is on Math Offer right now. Shouts out to both of them. Cause you know,
they chopping it up?
Yeah, he's on Math Offer right now. So I definitely want to see how that goes.
But I'm saying that was a segue. I told you.
Yeah, no, I already knew. I mean, come on. I mean, it was going to come to something. I already knew it was, you know, I'm glad it went to that direction and nothing else. But come on, I already knew that was going to happen. That was going to be the inevitable anyway. So he just called it out but that's how he probably felt. You know what I'm saying? The same way we coming on here, we talking about how we feel, you know what I mean, about, you know, everything, you know, so the same way he's saying that's how he feel.
Right.
So we're going to find out. But the point is, and I brought that up because he always be talking about the racism against Chinese people.
Right.
And it's like, we have to recognize that that's, you know, that's an American culture thing.
America,
unfortunately.
Come on, they make us racist.
Yeah, they make us hate ourselves, and they make us hate everybody else too at the same time. So
Facts.
know, so it's just about, you know, when you do get, you know, that knowledge of self that they talk about as you know, African Americans, at least, you know, Chinese, Puerto Rican, even though you know your island is still occupied, but you go back to Puerto Rico, it's some sort of culture there. You follow what I'm talking about? Some sort of.
That's too, because dark skinned Puerto Ricans.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact. It's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? You be
Mexico
like,
too.
You be like, where they at? Like, you know, why y'all not over here? What movie I was watching? I forgot what movie, because you know, definitely the reggaeton started bringing them up to the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's even Alpo, not saying, you know, that's a good thing or whatever, but Alpo Martinez or whatever, he was Puerto Rican dude.
Right.
I ain't know that. You know what I mean? It was later like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, at least though, when you're Chinese, you know, even Puerto Rican, you could go home and you got some sort of culture that you connected to. You know what I'm saying? The regular, you know, so that's another thing that it puts a lot of hurt in, you know, in the black Americans when they dealing with, you know, other people from anywhere that's not from where they are, because they like, you know, they mad. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
hatred of self and kind.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so that anger comes out, and you know, in all sorts of ways. But yeah, man. So America's that's just what it is. So China Mac, I know he been taken up for, because you know they were talking about like, yo, forgot somebody was breaking down how you go rob, what's it called, the Chinese people houses. And yeah, California, like they'll stick the Chinese people up because they don't fight. You know what I'm saying? They just go in there. It's an easy, easy lick. Nobody get hurt. They walk away with their bread. They like to keep cash for whatever. Maybe they don't put the money in the bank account or whatever. Somebody broke it down. on some platform, and then China Mac came back to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying, what's all that about? So he's making a stance so that, clarifying, like, how we need to be treating, his people too. You know what I mean? Even then, remember the whole thing with the COVID,
Right.
Had people hating on Chinese people.
Right,
in
right.
Georgia.
I mean,
there was a whole thing going on.
I mean, when
with
when the buildings came down, man, the Arabs, they had all the way to go.
That's a fact, bro. I got on the flight. I never forget. I got on the flight with a dude with a turban on. Oh my God! In my head, I was like, oh, yo, this mind you, this like '03. This like '03. Yes, '03 when we flew to LA. And when I flew to LA,
Right.
I sat next to him, dude, with the turban on, bro. I'm like, no, I'm about to die. But that's bogus.
But see, that's how they instill that thought process inside your mind. So even with you, God is white. God is white, or
Right.
and Jesus is white. So if Jesus is white, then the devil's dark skin, black. Then white people are of God, and black people of
The devil, right?
and that's the mental psych that they hit you with, man.
Right, and that's another reason why I think the Dave Chappelle situation, the way he addressed the Jews, when he was like, when black people, it's a bunch of black people, it's a gang. You know what I'm saying? When it's a bunch of Italians, it's mafia, and when it's a bunch of Jewish people, it's a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was crazy because there are a lot of Jewish people in the media. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not, they're not going to address. They don't care to address it when it hits a Chinese person. Just
Right.
like we really don't care. Like, I mean, come on, like, let's just be honest. Again, because this is the culture of America. America's not teaching you like, yo, care about somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to learn to care.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Saying of Dr. Malachi York.
That's a fact, man. So right now it's a situation where it's like you come to the States and it's like it's like, yo, it's everybody for themselves, and really, the whiter you are, whether it's mindset or conversation and articulation, that's what's acceptable. You follow what I'm talking about?
Fact.
So anything else, they're not gonna fight for it. So they're not gonna fight if they see racism against, and of course, yes, there was times that Jewish and African Americans came together in the South and stuff like that. So I'm just saying it happens in the media. It's happening. Chinese people get attacked, and I was going into that because of comedy. Because comedy, they come in and they, you know what I'm saying, they do the jokes on the Arabs, they do the jokes on the Chinese, they do the jokes on us. We do our own jokes and stuff. And man, so that's the mindset, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it definitely is the TV first, man. From the time you're a child,
right?
I mean, from the time you are a child, you're being taught how to be a racist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How the dark animal got a bad way to go. Scooby Doo is always having a hard way to go, and they done made Scooby Doo a damn human almost. You follow what I'm saying?
Right. No,
you know what I mean? And Shaggy is always trying to help Scooby.
Right.
It's like it's right there. You know
right.
what I mean? From Scooby Doo to Walt Disney. Man.
Right.
Like,
all day.
Daffy Duck is cool, but when what's the other? You got Donald Duck. You got Daffy Duck.
Yeah, you got Bugs Bunny.
You know what I mean?
So,
you got Donald Duck and you got Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck always have
his face shot off.
Always getting his face blown
that's a fact.
off.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? And Donald Duck is always like kind of like the smart one with the glasses on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but this is how they hit your subconscious mind.
That's it though.
Right.
Once it hit your subconscious mind as a child, when you get older, I come into a bank with $20,000 to cash a check.
Oh my God!
You're not gonna cash my check. You're gonna go through everything. You're gonna sign, but you won't cash my check.
Let's get in to set it off. The movie. Queen Latifah, who was the other sister that she was chasing after 50 Cent for a while, the beautiful Vivica Fox, right? My theory, because when we was doing real estate, well, we still doing real estate, but we now it's more wires and stuff, right? But back then, you had the closing, and you might have made 25, 30, 50 even, right? And you take the check to the bank. Oh my God! I would literally rather go to the white dude, I'm just saying, than a lot of the sisters, you know what I'm saying? And it's no disrespect to the I'm not trying to disrespect African American women, but I would have to go with
Bruh.
the European because the sisters, when I go with that check and I'm thinking the set it off movie, they'll put in their head like, yo, don't accept nothing. If a black man come, I don't care if it's a check, because remember, Duke came with a piece of paper. He came with a piece of paper, right? Somebody about to rob the bank or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, a check is a piece of paper. Like, yo, do not accept that check. I swear, because it becomes scrutiny to the 1,000th degree. Like, yo, call a bank manager, all sorts of IDs, something. Then they want to start writing on the check. Then say,
this what happened. No, what you talking about? It happened. Shorty wrote on the check. I said, why did you write on the check?
No, you ain't gonna cash it.
I cannot bring the check nowhere else. So now I'm forced to leave it with you, and then come back. What? It's a Friday now. I have to come back Monday when your manager's there, so you can verify.
Right.
Come
yeah,
on,
man. This is
man.
So. I mean, it is what it is, man. But that's that mindset. You know what I'm saying? And that's that dog test. You know, the dog test. Because I want.
You know, I hurt my feelings.
What? Come on, man. If y'all ain't never seen the dog test, y'all have to Google the dog test. Just put DOLLTEST, and then we can talk about it on another show, man. But you know, I really want y'all to see what that's about, man, because the same results. All I'm gonna say is the same result that came from the dog test in 1968. They got the same result from that dog test in 2000. That's 40 years later. So that's media, that's branding. So that's why I be trying to tell everybody, like, yo, like, you know, how you gonna say that seeing these images is not affecting you? You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't affecting you, then why would they have marketing campaign? Why would there be an ad campaign?
Right.
Come on now, like, come on. We know that they study all of this information in depth. Why would they have a whole advertisement campaign dealing with billboards, right? Dealing with social media ads and stuff that stick into your, you know, images and stuff like that. If it's not gonna work,
to the point,
money or their time.
To the point, they start marketing what? Cigarettes.
They had to. That's the perfect example. Yeah, man.
Because they knew from the time the cigarettes was in movies, it was everywhere. Like, you know, you had the cowboy guy, you had the Marlboro guy, Marlboro man.
And this ties back into the racist thing again, right? Because I remember Indian guy, you know, we had a mixtape spot inside the gas station. At one point we had him in like 10 different gas stations with like whole setups, like little stores. I forgot what he did. I think he was like making fun of like the people coming in the store, because you know, cats coming in. This is in the South. It's extra street talking street da. So what's going on? He tried to make fun of it. So I found in Cambodia, I forgot what country, but dude was Indian. It was the little boy. It was the little fat boy that was smoking cigarettes. Dude like 7 years old. So I said, yo.
Said 7. That dude was 5 years old.
Yeah, he was literally.
He had pamphlet.
If y'all don't believe me, Google 5-year-olds smoking cigarettes in India, because they ain't have no laws. So Philip Morris produces Marlboro. They might regulations around it. You know what I'm talking about? And start dropping billboards that they can't do in America no more. They dropping billboards on these people, and you got 5-year-olds smoking cigarettes, bro. I'm talking about addicted. Google it. Y'all know y'all don't believe me. YouTube this. So the Indian dude is making fun of us. So I'm like, oh, yo, look at your man right there. Oh, look at your man. He was mad as hell. I was like, yo, look at that dude. Hey, yo, he's smoking out there. They dead. So it's like, you know, and it's interesting because because the way we come from poor communities,
right.
They come from poor communities.
They come from slum.
Everybody other than the Europeans that done came up off of exploiting, you know, other countries, their resources, human resources and mineral resources, right? They came up, but the rest of the world, Asia, it's mad poor all over that continent. You follow what I'm talking about? So, you know, but when they come to places like America, when they come to Africa, you know, they like, you know, they put on. You know what I'm talking about? So, but at the end of the day, when you go home, you're from a similar place. That, you know, where
they come from the slum.
Yeah, bro.
And the media teaches them before they come from the slum into America that they better than you. Why? Because how we treated in America.
Right. Because of movies.
Yeah.
Because of media.
Yeah.
And that's going back to, and like, look, Y'all get mad when I'm saying something about y'all, but y'all don't get mad when nobody's saying something about nobody else in the movies and in the content that y'all release through your platforms.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, and I would say there is a certain level of responsibility, because of this content.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So there is any of our people or any people, and that's why we was talking the other day that we was talking about, we need to do a content conference. And I know there probably is one already, right? But not content like creating content as influencers, but content like what is the content of what it is that you talking about in your music. What are you putting out in your videos? You know what I'm talking about? Because this whole new these generations coming up, it's about to be terrible if we don't. It really is terrible. But we could fix it by stepping in and holding these accountable, holding these conferences, getting the label, executives and things of that nature involved, and putting pressure on them to say, listen, y'all gotta stop pushing content that's making us look a certain way.
Right.
Period. And we have to collectively step up and make that type of that type of move.
Right. That's heavy. And that goes back to that responsibility, because a lot of people don't want the responsibility, you know what I mean? Ever since basketball players, like, I'm not a
Role model.
A role model.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The moment basketball started saying that, so if you're not a role model, then just look at me as an athlete, period. Then the rapper can say, I'm not a role model either, man. Let's look at me as an artist, period.
Now that's terrible,
man.
That's terrible, because
you are responsible.
That's a fact, because when you servicing your customer, like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, your fans are your customers, man.
Period.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be we supposed to give mad value to people that enjoy us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a big rapper, you're a big sports athlete, we supposed to give as much as possible in value. But see, they think, just because I'm scoring on the court all day, but nah, it's more than that, man. Come on,
now
people.
You are a role model.
Yeah, people want to emulate what you. They want to see how you're moving off the court, what you wear, what you dressing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kyrie Irving got that flack because the moment y'all saying you ain't got Kyrie Irving said that had a lot to say about that whole movie thing. But the fact of the matter is, once you start talking and you having an opinion about something, right? You take away the fact that you're not an icon. You know what I mean? Or you're not a role model. Because now this is what role models do. They have an opinion. They're able to speak on something that's wrong. They're able to speak on something that's wrong and give it insight. Right. And the moment you give an insight as a person that's scoring, that has you influencing thousands of people, you know what I'm saying? You got thousands to millions of followers, you become a problem. The moment you say that you're not a role model, you're saying what? I'm not an influencer. I'm not gonna have an influencer. But you are.
That's a fact. That's a good way to put it. You are an influencer. Yo, listen, if y'all disagree, let us know, man. Put something in the comment. Let us know. Definitely share it so we can get this conversation out and all that. We want to hear from y'all as well. Thank you for tapping in.
Subscribe, hit that bell.
Exactly. And then what I was going to bring up on that, dealing with sports, why the conversation was swept under the rug so quickly. The owner of what's it called, the Cowboys. Okay, you remember that? You know that the video came out of him. He was one of the people stopping those kids from coming into the school in Alabama when they was trying to what's the word for it?
Segregation.
Yeah, desegregated or whatever. Yo, listen, that joint hit the media for, I'm gonna give it 72 hours, man. I'm gonna give it 72 hours, man. After that, bro, it was gone, bro. It was gone.
You got certain attorney firms that does crisis management.
Those are publicists and attorney too. Both is combination. But I think the publicists spearheaded.
Yeah, so what they do is they pay millions of dollars in order to pay to get those things off of the media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However they do it, but they do it, and I'm sure they're paying for that service to get it done. You follow what I'm saying?
And then everybody like, yo, forget this, forget that. But like we was talking about when you deal with the Holocaust has never been forgotten. If they catch somebody,
that's what
if they catch anybody that was involved with any of them gas chambers, bro, they could be 99 years old.
They go get them.
They coming for you. They coming for your account. They want to see if you got any of them diamonds or any of them art pieces that hidden or whatever.
They coming for you.
Yeah, period, bro. And they're gonna make a spectacle about it. You know what I'm saying as well. So we need to do the same thing. Why not? Like about slavery or what wasn't slavery?
What was it? Why?
It was kidnapping.
Oh, prove it.
Shouts out to Charleston White because I heard him mention it too.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did. You know that?
Nah.
You didn't know that? You serious? You doing that for the show?
For what? I mean, that shit. I did not know
Charleston White.
I like
in.
the guy.
Yeah, he went
I like
in.
the guy.
Yeah, I thought I told you that. He went in. He started talking about it wasn't slavery. It was kidnapping.
Okay.
And then he same reason. He's
Did he
like,
prove
yo.
it?
He went into he didn't say that slavery was legal because that's the problem. That's the problem when you say slavery, when you start talking about repatriation. When you talk about what's that word for it? When you get the money back? Reparations. When you talk reparations, you're not talking about you're not talking about you can't talk about something that was legal that was done. So slavery was something that was legal during the time.
Indentured servants.
They had indentured servants. You know what I'm talking about? That was legal all over the planet. It was happening. You follow what I'm talking about?
So to this day.
Right. So to come, but kidnapping all the way back because now, you know, and he went in. He went into the point of even talking about the international court and everything.
Wow.
He went in. He did a great job.
Wow.
You know, and then, you know, because what happens is it was legal. Sorry about that, y'all. It was legal during the League of Nations. Illegal. Kidnapping was illegal during the League of Nations, which was the body that held all these countries together. So illegal then, illegal now. You can go into the international court, but we all know that, or maybe we don't know. But what America does, this is what America does. The Hague or whatever, right? It's the Hague, right? Yeah, right? I think so, right?
International Court.
Yeah, International Court of Justice, and then you got the International Criminal Court. What America has done is America is not a signatory. You can't bring the criminal court or because America is not a signee on that. So, but America be telling them to go get the president of Sudan. Yo, go get the president of Liberia. Yo, go get the president of this through I forgot there's an arm in the United Nations, the Security Council.
Right.
So the Security Council is it's basically the strong arm of the United Nations, and it's only a certain couple of countries.
The police.
It's the police for the UN. You know what I'm talking about? Like those countries on the Security Council, they the ones that really make all of the necessary decisions.
Right.
They hold all the power, strength-wise, weapons-wise, all the above, right? Influence-wise, the whole nine. So what they do is they use the Security Council to block, because remember, Noriega, not the Noriega, I'm the real Noriega.
On the run.
The one,
Not niggas on the run.
Right. That Noriega, right? Nicaragua brought charges against America because they said, y'all gotta look it up. It's a fact. Put Nicaragua versus USA, and it blatantly shows how they was pushing drugs and they was influencing politics and they was doing this and that. And guess what? They had a case in the international court, right? And then before you know it, they moved some people around politically in Nicaragua, and Nicaragua decided to what?
It's all right.
Withdraw the case. Yeah. You follow what I'm talking about? So this is the strength they have, and they utilize the Security Council to put the pressure on you to be like, yo, what's the problem? I mean, they they a bully, man. It is what it is, man. You know, and it's the system. It's deeply ingrained.
Systemic.
Yeah. So that's the whole concept of systemic racism. But there's got to be another term too, because racism only dealing with one facet of how they strong arming us right now, the planet. Like it's not just blacks in America.
I mean,
like,
to your point, if we were to come together and deal with kidnapping,
right?
That's the real reparation, because you're addressing a crime, you're addressing a damage that happened that's happened generational. You could say this based on this crime. This is how I've been damaged generationally.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean, and based on that crime alone, I want this type of remedy, not reparation, but remedy for that crime. And it's very specific. It's not a gray area. It's not just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because if they give you $300,000 per person for reparation, you can't come back.
Right.
You can't come back and talk about nothing because they already remedied whatever they agreed. They already remedied what they agreed to, which is a crime.
Right.
So now what you, but now when you come a step further and say, okay, I hear you about reparations, but let's discuss this thing about kidnapping because there's no statute of limitation on kidnapping.
Right.
Just like there's no statute of limitation on murder. That's a whole nother conversation.
Nah,
Now we get hit off like the Jews get hit off because the Jewish people get hit off like monthly. They got like a monthly thing residually that goes along.
Coming from Germany?
Coming from next video, I'm gonna say specifically how the Jews they have a residual situation that happens from the Holocaust, from their damage that comes from the Holocaust. It's not just like a one-shot thing. It's a residual thing for them. Whether I think it's either from Germany to Zion. They got some type of system going on where their families get hit off residually. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be on that level on an international platform.
That's a fact because look at where they at right now. The Jewish community, based on those different elements, but they in a great position. They control the media, right? They're in a strong media position, and they're in a strong position with diamonds and other precious metals and stones, right? So that's where we need to be at. So I think the term would be
goes back to what?
Systemic colonialism. I think that's the term. I think the term, but who knows? So there might be somebody out there who's more skilled to put it together.
You shot it from a distance.
Yeah,
I think it's scored.
I'm thinking systemic colonialism because remember, America's never been decolonized. Right?
Say that again.
America's never been decolonized.
So people think that America is no longer
a colony,
but it is.
It definitely is because the indigenous people, obviously, the people over on some reserves, and they're not really able to practice as a real bona fide nation. They all go under the Department of the Interior. You follow what I'm talking about? So they make them subservient, and they more so operate like the state of Georgia, or even less than that, under the United States government, but they got all these, what's the word for it? Fraudulent, what them call treaties, a whole bunch of stuff.
Look up the Wazoo fraud.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yazoo. And shouts out to that because it's interesting. Zig Ziglar. Shouts out to Zig Ziglar. Rest in peace, man. I know Howard the Don was talking about him too when he was getting in his space of motivation to teach teachers and things like that. Zig Ziglar, he dropped a lot of jewels on, being ambitious and motivated and, trying to get people to change their life or whatever.
Okay.
He influenced a lot of people like Les Brown.
Okay.
And, Grant Cardone. I know y'all probably be seeing him on social media. Tony Robbins, so on and so forth. Zig Ziglar. Guess where he from?
Where?
Yazoo. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But that's where all this fraud that took place with the tribe from that area that at one point controlled what? Mississippi, Georgia, and Alabama. Okay, boom, yeah. So never decolonized. So so they've been able to, and that they've been able to take away the strength of other entities, European countries that was competing. I'm saying, nah, y'all got to get out of Senegal. Y'all got to get out of Ghana. Y'all got to get out of these places. You know what I'm talking about? And when they got out of there,
which makes them what?
It makes them weaker
financially.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And now for them to be able to still be dominating the U.S., you know what I'm talking about? So the way only England that did it, because they like, we revolted against England and we're a separate entity. But nah, man, you are the same people that came from that location.
Matter of fact, you're the criminals. You're the criminals of that batch that came from that location.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna be coming back every day. We missed yesterday, but we'll be on. Y'all see me on episode like 17 or out of 19 days in January, and we just want to be talking about what's really affecting us.
What's really real.
Right, and do our best to kind of like, raise the, what's it called?
Consciousness,
awareness and all that. It's which is a bunch of people are doing. We just want to add on to it within the battle rap culture. Y'all see, we have.
It's debatable. Hey, Flow Rider, man, he just got $82 million. For what?
Buying
the energy drink.
He dropped the energy drink?
And he was with the energy drink, and he did something foul. You know what I'm saying? Contractually.
Crazy.
And then he ended up suing them.
Crazy.
And then he's been awarded $82 million.
For some reason, he got that vibe he's one of the big stars like 50 Cent and them. Interesting. For some reason, because his hits was just like out of this world. Like them joints hit real big. So that's right, man. It's that frequency he's on, man. So let's get on that frequency, y'all, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Peace.